Sorry, everybody. My dog has suddenly discovered today that there is water in the toilet, and rather than drink from his lovely, beautiful dog bowl, that the toilet seems to be the preferential source of drinkage. So I was just bad animal. Right. So here we are today. It's been a bit of a long day. I should warn you that. But we are about to embark on triangle number 3. Well, we are on triangle number 3. So I suppose the short and best answer for it is we should get on with it. So let's have a look. And peel the many layers of cloths covering and protecting it so that the dogs didn't do anything exciting to it while I wasn't looking. Right. And here we are. We are right at the beginning, ready to do. We need to pull some of these back a little, but we are ready for triangle number 3. So, let's make these a bit longer, because they don't need to be 2 inches anymore. So, I know what I was going to do. I don't have a button for that. I was going to do that and pin it. There you go. Right. So. Okay. Right, let's finish lengthening these. It's only Monday. You don't want to know how sad I was when about an hour and a half ago I was like, well, at least it's Tuesday, blah de blah de blah. And then my brain went, it's not Tuesday. And the rest of me went, what? What do you mean it's not Tuesday? And then I realised it's only Monday. So it's going to be one of those weeks, I think. So you need to be crossed and you need to be crossed. You are already crossed, but we need to do shenanigans, and I've forgotten exactly what we did last time. Because you did a thing. I think we just pinned it. We can't have just pinned it. We must have done some shenanigans. I can't really see from here. Oh, I don't remember what I did. Quick look. No, not obvious. So, time to continue on. So, never mind. Let's put a pin in. Yeah, that doesn't look right. I'm not happy with that. Let's do that, and then, which is what I think I did last time. Oh, there's a pin. You are going to annoy me, I can tell that from afar. You are doing something funky. Distance of, I can't see because of my glasses. If that helped. Right. I'm cool with that. You're not level. How can you not be level? Feels very unlevel. Feels like it's floating to the back. But it's also not tilting. It's got a tilt on it. And I don't see why it's not tilting. I see why it's not tilting. Hang on with me one moment. A bit better. Because the actual base of the stand is down here, not here. So what I will do is I will push it back a little bit. Hey Sugar Bear, how are you? And Tenchi. For some reason Tenchi's message half's covered by my pin. But hi guys, how are you? Good. I was feeling a little... That sounds perfectly fine to me. Although if you'd like to clean my house, there is very much to be done. I was feeling a little dejected before stream because I saw a post on some social media from a girl saying that she was about to go live and no one had responded. And I felt sorry for her because we all know that, you know, it's hard when you stream and, you know... Oh, I missed one. Douchebag. So I went along to go and say hello. Well, first of all, when I got there, she had 20 viewers, so she was not exactly lacking. But I posted a little thing saying, hi, you know, I saw your post, saw that no one had responded, so I thought I'd come along and say hello. So they deleted it. I'm sorry, so you can't be nice to people now? Oh, fuck off. Life's... You know, I'm sorry, but that's just rude. You know, it's... You know, it's... You are trying to be nice to someone and support someone in their efforts, and they fucking deleted it. Just unnecessary. So I was feeling a little dejected, because there was me trying to do a nice thing for somebody else, thinking that, you know, maybe a bit like me, they don't see many people, and, you know, it's probably a little bit disheartening for them. I go along to help, and they freaking deleted the message. And believe me, it was a nice message. It was a proper, actual nice message. So yeah, I hope no one goes anymore after that. Kind of unnecessary. So yeah, little sad, but never mind. I still can't believe it's only Monday. Right, we've used all of those bobbins. Now we need more bobbins. Hello, more bobbins. Why are you trapped around something? Thank you. More bobbins, please. Make you longer, because, well, we can make you longer. Because we don't have 2 inches of space. Yeah, I had unfortunate timing with Ox's stream over the weekend, Sugar, because of course every time I hit go, so did he. So, but we did finish triangle number 2, so we got somewhere in the end. Right, Crossed, 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 and crossed. Excellent. We have... Come on, pins. Thank you. Oops, dropped them. Do I play Sota? I don't play Sota anymore. I haven't for quite a while. It drifted away from the things that had caused me to love it, and I mean, I bought a town, right? As you may recall, I bought a town, and when episode 2 came out, I managed to get the town moved to be an overland town, so you can directly access it. But I realised that I was just literally doing the same shit every day, and lots of people were kind of, you know, every because they were having the telethon things monthly, and you know, almost whining that they hadn't made enough money. Then Lord British and Star kind of went quiet. Then Chris Atos had announced that he was taking over, which wasn't a bad thing because he'd been doing most of the work anyway. Oh, Amy! Anyway, sorry about that. So he announced that he was taking over, and he was doing a really good thing. Any more dogs? I mean, you know, just don't mind me. I live here. But while he fixed lots of things and was fixing lots of bugs, and he streamed regularly, he was very much more down to earth, and he's a lovely guy. The game just drifted further from what I wanted, because he did what so many games do, which is started pandering to... Oh, Ox has done it again. Oh look, Ox has gone live. Anyway, so it you know, I expect Sugar Bear to wander off to go see Ox, but it was, for me, it was, too many games do this, is they get some, let's call them more hardcore players, or guilds, you know, groups, whatever, and they make the game what those people want. But those people are not the majority of the players. They're just the biggest, loudest, maybe more famous players. So, you know, I think one of the things that I never totally understood was that there's some guitar playing dude, I've forgotten his name because he's not famous over here. He's only famous over there. And they did like a whole kind of big thing because he was going to be playing the game. And it's like, yeah, but I don't know who he is. You might as well announce my grandmother's playing it. No one's going to know who it is. Okay, she's dead, but you know what I mean. And it was... Lord British and Star still show up for things, but it's not their business anymore. And they've buggered off to do some other thing which has already folded. And I don't know, the game just kind of died out. I just stopped logging in. I put all my effort into my town. I put a lot of effort into that town. But because it had been an underground town, people didn't come. When it moved, I had to redo everything. And I redid everything. And I put a lot of effort into it. And it was kind of only you and me on the stream. It was kind of only you and me in the town. It was kind of... And I got a little fed up with it, to be honest. I got really disheartened by how much I'd paid up and where it was going, so I don't play that anymore. I did do Diablo 4 when it came out. It was crap. I've done each of the seasons. One of them was... The one with the vampires I thought was better than some of the others, but I'm not really the strongest game player in the world. I am an also-ran of players. I slowly plod along, I do my own thing, but I am not one of the best. I usually notice a lot, and I report a lot of bugs as a result, but I'm not usually, I'm never the strongest, the fastest, the quickest, the bestest, anything. And when even I can complete Diablo in a few hours. So, for example, when the season comes out, you don't have to redo the whole kind of normal base campaign portion with Lilith. You do the new bit. I think it took me 2.5 hours last time. Now this time, it's taken me a bit longer, but that's partly because I'm not playing a class I'm used to, but I'm already bored of it. I used to love EverQuest. I loved EverQuest with all my soul, despite the immense amounts of repetition. Let's get rid of that. So, despite the immense amount of repetition, I used to log into EverQuest, kind of, what shall I do today? I shall wander over there and I shall kill some, insert whatever. And I'd wander off, and if someone else had got the spot, I'd wander off and find a different spot. And if I couldn't find any of the spots I wanted to do there, I found something else to do. And while EverQuest was horrendously repetitive, if you truly think about it. So, for example, level 1, there you are in Freeport, killing rats. There you are, level 65, killing rats. And you're kind of going, I've done this before. But, so to that extent, it is repetitive. And, as you say, most game is arguably repetitive. But the difference is going somewhere else, the scenery looking different, maybe the mobs are bigger, they've got, now they've got a few this, now they do a bit of that. There's a bit of variety. And EverQuest kind of had that, for the most part. But Sota kind of didn't. It just struck me that, okay, I spent a lot of time killing bears in wherever it was, but that was because, well, I might as well do that as much as anything else. I get as much XP as that from anything else. And if I sit in this spot, usually no one else comes, so I can kind of do as much or as little as I need to do. And walk away with a shed load of XP at the end of it, a crap load of bear pelts to be doing crafting with, and, well, there wasn't really a lot of point to any of it. One of the biggest things that I think has always disappointed me the most about a lot of these games is, and I don't get me wrong, I also realise how hard a balance it must be for game designers. You start out, there you are, basically naked with your wet stick as your weapon, and frankly it's more the sight of your underwear that scares the mobs to death than the actual beating they take. And that's fine. Too many games have the, here's a sparkly trail, follow this and go and do that. Here's a sparkly trail. Or, you can see this sign, follow this marker that shows you where to go. I don't want that. I should have to learn things. And I can't remember what I tried. I tried something really recently. What did I try? It was a brand new game. It's all the rage. Hang on, let me look on my Steam thing. Throne and Liberty. Yeah, it takes the discovering out of the game. It takes the exploration and the wonder and the... So Throne and Liberty, I like Throne. I'm glad you hate it too. Because here's a sparkle. Go to the thing. Seriously. Now, admittedly, sometimes it is annoying when it says, when the game says, go to see John. Okay. Who the fuck's John? Where do I find John? And you kind of ask around and everything goes, no, I've never heard of John. It could be the bloke standing next to them and going, no, I've never heard of John. Nah, me not know John, sorry, And I don't want a game that shows me everything. I don't mind the... See, to me, if you arrived in a place and it said, hello, welcome, adventurer. You want to, welcome to our thing. To prove your worth and allegiance to the town, we ask that you provide 3 bear pelts. So you go off, you go get 3 bear pelts, and they go, thank you, adventurer. We will now let you sell and buy shit. Okay, great, that'll be wonderful. You might adventurer, you've kind of outgrown us a little bit. If you head northwest to village number 2, they may be more helpful. So you head kind of northwest-ish, and there it is. That I will happily deal with, because it guides you but doesn't kind of make you. Throne and Liberty made you, pretty much. Go here, you must do this. You can go and kill other things, but you're wasting your time. You need to go here, you need to do this. And there were so many menus with Throne and Liberty. Throne and Liberty was all menus. Just everywhere you looked, there was another setting in another menu and another thing to... It was just too... Well, people complain that Path of Exile is complicated. Throne and Liberty's worse, because at least Path of Exile is kind of in one place. It's horrendous and it's a huge map, but of course you can only go one step from where you are, so even if it is, 50 miles wide, you can only really go one step beyond where you are. So, to me, I wasn't really ever put off by the Path of Exile thing. But the Throne of Liberty, you need to go in this, you need to go in this. And then during the pre-order weekend, at the very beginning, when you first got your character, it said, press F10 for this. It wasn't, it was F11. They did fix it for the go live. But you're sitting there going, it's not even accurate. And yeah, see, that's it. Having to crawl around Kithcore Forest, having to, avoid things in Neriac Forest because it wasn't fucking any safer in there. And then discuss, things like having you're an evil faction, you can't just walk in and buy food and water. Having all of that made, the fact that even as a high-level character, people still ran the walls in Kithcore Forest because they were scared. You were physically scared of going through the middle of that zone. Whereas today, we don't like death penalties. I don't want to have to go and get my stuff back. That's really expensive. So platinum's raining from the sky. I mean, we all remember that when we got EverQuest and stuff back in like 1999, 2000, whenever you started, right? There were like 6 spells for level 1. You bought maybe 2 of them. And you started with 1. So you had like 2, so you bought 1. By the time you got to level 4, you maybe could afford 1 of them. By the time you were 5 or 6, you maybe bought another one. You were still stark naked, walking around with a wet stick, but you had like 4 whole spells to your name. Whereas today, you log in EverQuest, even, I won't say P99, but even Quam and all the rest of it, you can afford your spells. You can afford a bag. You can afford a bag? If you... Even 20 years ago, okay, maybe not quite 20 years, 15 years ago, when Planes of Power came out, and all the rats in Freeport started dropping plague rat tails that were 1 platinum each. I'm sorry, but you know, by the time you got to level 4, you had like 100p in your pocket. Then they introduced the tutorial that gave you all the fancy statted gear, and then there was fancy statted gear about 4 times on your way up. So you could either buy it or you could get it dropped from mobs. If you sold it, you got about 30 plat. If you needed to buy it, okay, it was a lot more than that. But you had money rain from the sky. There were classes. Oh, shut up, dog, please. I've had enough of you two today. There were classes that, because I solo and I never group with people because I'm an antisocial person. Amy. It is not the Amazon man because he couldn't be bothered to come. So stop it. Yeah, I ordered something to come from Amazon today, and about 5 o'clock this morning it headed to the depot, and nothing happened with it all day, and so I got a message a little minute ago going, oh yeah, it'll come tomorrow. No, I expect a bit more than, oh well, there's been a delay. I've realised that. Can you at least be honest as to what the delay was, if you don't mind? I don't know what's going on out there, but I'm sure it's not exciting. Nothing's connecting, so I can't fucking know. Anyway, so Throne of Liberty annoyed me because there was too much follow to this marker, do this, follow to this marker, do that. The story itself wasn't bad. The mobs were different. There was no zoning per se. That you didn't, unlike EverQuest where, back in the days of the modem, you weren't sure whether you disconnected or not, and you lost loads of messages because you were zoning. There was none of that. And the graphics did look pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to deny that the graphics on Throne of Liberty were great, but it didn't make me feel alive and excited. Monsters and Memories is definitely my thing, but of course, it's not even in alpha yet. It's not even in pre-alpha. It's not even up most of the time. In fact, we all desperately clamour for it to be up, because we really enjoy it. It is like EverQuest, so there are ogres and gnomes and dwarves and the usual suspects. There are some extra classes. Currently, there's only one city. And it's huge! I mean, if Freeport and Neriac combined, but were one zone, it would still be smaller, right? This place is huge. But, it's got a few signposts now. Thank you, Padas. You are my hero. And you run around, and it's logical. You cannot sell armour to a butcher. You cannot. The blacksmith does not give a rat's backside about any meat that you've got. You have to sell things to people who will use them. And there are a couple of dodgy gnomes and things floating about the place that will buy pretty much anything, but they'll give you like 1 copper for it. And you can make a lot of money buying off the gnome and selling it to the right people. But it is. They have crafting. It's very early stages. It's in a far better state than Pantheon is, and Pantheon are going live, was it next month? I'm really not quite sure how that goes, because I went to log it, I logged in there over, I think it was not last weekend, the weekend before, 1 race, bunch of classes, and that was it. It's kind of like in a couple of zones, and you're going live? Anyway, ads are about to start, so I'm going to have a bit of coke. It's doing its ads are starting thing and then sitting there not actually doing it. Come on. I could have finished my conversation. Did play Evercraft though over the weekend. So that's EverQuest in Minecraft. Did actually fire me up to. I've downloaded a Minecraft server, and I've downloaded the Minecraft client, I may have a go at modding it myself, just for the sheer of it all. But ads, there we go. I knew they were there somewhere. You're bent, aren't you? Not that bad. Oh, look, Mrs. Barky Dog. So yes, I did Evercraft over the weekend, Tenchi, which is basically EverQuest in Minecraft. And to be honest, they've done a pretty fucking cracking good job of that. I mean, they've obviously renamed things deliberately, so Block Burrow. I mean, yeah. But the spells are not exactly the same, but they are pretty much the same. They've got the same classes, the same kind of race. They haven't finished it by a long shot. This was pre-alpha stuff too. But again, that was really quite playable. To the point I've downloaded a Minecraft server in Docker because I don't really want Java on my computer if I can help it. Because I hate Java with a passion. So got a Docker container with Minecraft in it, and paid up for the Minecraft client and thought I'd have a go. I know theirs was written in Unity, but hey, why reinvent Minecraft when Minecraft already exists and you can alter it? So I thought I'd do that. I might have a go a bit of that. To be fair, I've been a little bit at sea game-wise. I've been playing Noita. And if you don't know what Noita is you're a wizard, you start with a wand, you wander around some kind of pixel dungeons, it's very pixel, and shoot shit. Basically, you wander around kind of aimlessly because there's really no kind of go here, do this instructions. You wander around killing stuff, and eventually you find like these little kind of purpley black hole things, and you go through them, and you're in a temple, and you get to pick some perks, and then you wander off again, and you go through some more bits, and maybe find another purple hole, and get, you rinse and repeat this. But eventually you find I have completed it once. It was a bit of a shock, to be honest. Now, there are mods for Noita, and I will fully disclose, I have not completed it without mods. One of the mods that I picked was Fire Heals You, because there really isn't a heal, and, well, frankly, I got a bit bored dying constantly in the first bit. So I thought, I'll try it on this, and then once I'm any better at it, I will go and I'll have another go. I'm still really shit at it. But it's almost like playing solitaire. I die, you play it for a few minutes, die, and then you go back to what you were doing. It's a time filler. It's a single player game, so it's very me. Single player, and I mean, if you play it on stream, you can actually... There's actually a streamer mod thing where you guys can vote as to... You know, you get a choice. The game picks a bunch of stuff and you can pick. And it's not always as helpful or as bad as it sounds. But, you know, you can make it kind of stream interactable, which is, I think, a really nice thing. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've tried a few of the games that Ox has done recently, Sugar Bear, and yeah, not really me either. I generally only do the ones that are really cheap or free, because I'm just not made of that kind of money. I mean, I want to be. I'd love to be able to just buy a game and go, yeah, actually, I don't like that. But it just... Games don't seem to have the sparkle. And do you know what I think a lot of it is? There are too many. There are too many games. And if a particular kind of game is popular, everyone and their dog makes one. And so they're all really, really similar. And occasionally there are some really, really good ones. But you're almost sick of them, a bit like Christmas, because they start advertising it in August. You know, by the time Christmas comes, you're glad it's getting out of the way. There are so many games now that it's not exciting that there's a game. Because you've probably played something just like it under another name, or it's a cross between X and Y, and there is very rarely new. And it's like films. It's like, how many films do we get that are reimaginings of films that were good films in the first place and didn't need it? And so to me, the games industry is kind of pumping out repetition. And I'd rather have 2 or 3 games a year that are worth it than constant deluges of games that are kind of mediocre because, well, they're like everybody else's. And especially when you've got games now that do the seasons. So all of this, you work really hard on your character, and at the end of the season, screw it, it's going in the bin. Well, can we not? I just spent 3 months working on that. I kind of want to keep my dude, thanks. And so, yeah, I have yet to find... to be honest, I think Evercraft and M&M will be high contenders for gameplay time for me. I think they truly will be. But M&M's not looking to kind of early release for till 2026. Path of Exile 2 comes out next month, and I will be playing that. Path of Exile's another game that I feel I can kind of dip in and dip out without too much. You know, it's not like EverQuest where it takes you an hour and a half to get to the right zone to even start. You know, you can just kind of dip in, teleport to the zone and get on with it. So that I kind of enjoy, and I'm pretty crap at it, but at the same time I can have a bit of fun. You don't look right. It's 'cause I think it's you. So yeah, I'm not enthused. I was writing a game, so some of you will know that I spent quite a lot of time, and I'm talking years, in my spare time, but not, you know, all of my spare time, for want of a better explanation. So that still looks wrong. You look wrong, I'm sorry. Can I undo this? Because it just doesn't look right. And I had really good plans for it. In fact, I've got a whole kind of notebook of ideas and designs and what I was going to do with it, and bubbles burst. And the simple reason the bubble burst, it's not to get Unity, but it's going to sound like one. So, Unity had a pipeline, a graphics setup called the built-in render pipeline. And it and I got on pretty well. But they made some leaps and bounds and they brought out a new one. And originally it was kind of like the high render pipeline, standard render pipeline, and the scriptable render pipeline. Then they kind of merged the bottom two to universal render pipeline. And now they're kind of, yeah, actually it's going to be all one thing now. But in the process of doing this, so I had a dungeon. So the general principle of my game, and you can go and see it on sillygames.online, right? Is you wake up and you're in a room. You're in a locked room. And you have to find the key, and if you're sensible, you'll pick up the light. Bit of a spoiler, right? Because it is fucking dark. And it's supposed to be dark because, well, it's supposed to be dark. If you don't pick up the light, I mean, you know, because if you get outside and you think, wow, it's really dark, and you didn't pick up the light, well, duh, right? Anyway, and there are a couple of mobs in there to kill. Well, a couple of mob types to kill. The place that you have found yourself is full of skeletons and these little kind of, well, I'm not quite sure. Well, I know what they're supposed to be. Yeah, no goblin you or I ever saw look like that. So, and then these kind of like moomins, for want of a better word, because they look more like moomins. And, you know, it's got a combat system, it's got an inventory system, it's got... You can't use half of it yet, but it's all in there. I've written it all. But when this universal render pipeline crap kind of happened, and they said, well, we're going to drop... After Unity 6, we will drop the built-in render pipeline. I thought, fuck, better change. Now, the universal render pipeline does give significant improvement in performance. So I thought, yeah, let's do that. I spent nearly 2.5 years trying to make the lighting work. Under default render pipeline, it worked great. It did. Worked brilliantly. Universal render pipeline did not. And I've got posts all over the internet with it. And everyone's going, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. And yet, when you say, fine, show me what I must do. Oh, well, you need to change this. Well, that's already set. Oh. Well, you need this. I've already got that. Every answer that I was given, I'd already tried. Already done, because, you know, I'm not entirely stupid. So I sent it to Unity. And Unity do have a habit with their bugs of you send in, load this, do this, because they say, how do we recreate it? So, load this, do this, get to this point here, and you will see X. So they change everything and then go, well, I can't, it doesn't work for me. And they send you a screen put, look, it's not working. And you go, well, you've added 16 lights, you've moved this, well, of course it's not going to do it. You've changed it. Anyway, the problem is that under the universal render pipeline, you can only have a small number of lights visible. And when I say small, I'm talking 8. So if you've got 4 or 5 candles, you now cannot have within basically a really large area any other lights, or it gets a bit upset. Now, there are settings for this. Well, there are settings that logically should fix this, which is occlusion culling, which basically says if you can't see it, don't fucking do it. And it says, do you want to do occlusion culling on lights? Well, hell yes. If it's round the corner or the other side of a wall, don't frigging care for it. So, you start in a room. As you unlock the door, there is a kind of toilet-sized room to your right, and a bigger room in front of you. You go through the bigger room, round, kind of now down the side of the other 2 rooms. Once you get to the bottom of that corridor and turn round, it should be as black as a badger's buckhole. It really should. obviously if you didn't take the light with you, and this is part of the deal, don't take the light with you, it should be as black as a badger's butthole. You turn round, it's lighter than Wembley Stadium. I mean, if you could see how light the light I've got here is, it's lighter than this. There are lights coming from everywhere. And half of them you're going, I don't even think there's a light in that direction. And often there actually isn't. What happens is it goes, okay, so the wall, so for example, let's say there's 2 rooms. So the room you're in and the room next door. What happens is it goes, right, there is the wall for the room next door, so the side of the wall for the room next door can't be seen. I won't draw that. The walls are not one-sided, but effectively one-sided, so each side of the room is only drawn on the side. So my side of the wall, I only see my side of the wall. So the other side of the wall, that's technically a different plane, doesn't get drawn. So, well, it's invisible, and so the light can now come through my wall because there is no wall there, it can't see it. I'm sorry, it's a wall. Now, originally I had a few problems with lights creeping in through joins and all the usual shenanigans, and I managed to sort all of that out because I remade my maze, because it's basically a maze. And then, to combat this whole URP thing, I remade all of the rooms using a completely different technique, so they were absolutely unique individual rooms, and the room itself was kind of, all of the objects in the room were in the room. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but in gameplay you don't have to. So you could have a chief game object of mobs, and all the mobs live underneath it. They're in all the different rooms and they're doing their own thing, but you can have like mobs and lights, and you know, so I made sure that every room, all the things in the room were in the room. And I did some fancy shit where if the room wall is no longer visible, turn the fucking light off. And it still did it! Because, and here's why it did it, while the occlusion culling thing works, it doesn't, in my humble opinion. Oh, please don't tell me we've got more ads in a minute. I think we're alright for a minute. In essence, let's say you've got a visibility of 30 yards. Everything in 30 yards believes it's visible, even if it's behind a wall, because of the one-way walls. So I've kind of hit an impasse because I am sick of trying. And I had such great plans. I'd done so much work on it. I'd made my own animations. I'd tidied up models. Bear in mind, I have the artistic talent of a squashed frog. I wrote systems. I rewrote systems. I was going to make it multiplayer in case people wanted to do that. I had literally everything all sorted, and just not even bothering. Guy from Monsters and Memories, not the team of Monsters and Memories, but a guy who plays Monsters and Memories, to be accurate, kind of went, "Hey Liz, we should work on a game." Maybe, yeah, I could possibly do that. And he had this idea, and I was kind of up for it. So, originally, it was going to be kind of gems, right? And it is kind of gems. He was going to do the pixel art, and I was going to do the brains. That was over a year ago. I did all the work. He didn't do anything. He then disappeared for 6 months. Wouldn't respond to anything. His channel, or here on Twitch, still showed up. And was constantly just kind of like almost like a news CFAX thing. I don't mean anything outside the UK, but kind of like a text-based chat thing from his Discord with a scrolly message at the bottom. And so he racked up thousands of hours of streaming time because, of course, but he was never there. And lots of people were chatting, and you're kind of going, okay. But he disappeared off the face of the earth. He then came back and said, I've been a bit down. Well, no shit, honey. I did loads of work. I did more than my bit. I rewrote it 3 times because I thought better ways of doing it. And because I didn't go to a, predetermined methodology of doing the Gems game. I made my own. I worked it out for myself how to best implement it and all the rest of it. And you fucked off. And he's still kind of going, we, and it's like, there is no we in this. So, I kind of got bored of that as well. So, I've been a little bit bored of everything, to be honest. And this is where I'm at. I'm a bit bored of everything. We've got the shenanigans at work, which I still don't know whether I can talk about, but I believe I can. But I'm not pushing my luck. But that's not good news. We've got, my car's dead and I don't really want to fix it because it will cost a fortune. But then I haven't got a car, which doesn't help. I'm just not enthusiastic about a lot of things. And to be honest, that rubbed off in my gameplay too. Because, if you're not enjoying anything, well, you're not enjoying anything. And, it's difficult to get into a game if you're not enthusiastic about it. To be honest, I play Noita in a solitaire game on my phone more than anything else. And I only play the stuff on my phone because I can. It's that kind of sitting on the can, bored in a meeting, because of course I work from home now. I was made to come to this meeting, but it's nothing to do with me, so I'm physically here, but mentally kind of not. Yeah, I'm not quite myself. So, but yeah, games. I don't like games that are too hand-holdy. I don't want them to kind of Sparkle, go over here. Sparkle, go over there. No, let's not. But of course, one of the other problems you get in games is, oh, go north to this, and actually it's east. And you're like, well, no wonder I didn't frigging find it, because you end up asking someone, where the is this? And they go, oh, it's kind of east over there. Well, the thing said north. I've been looking around north for like 3 hours, and you're telling me it's east? How the f was I supposed to know that? And to be honest, Evercraft had a little bit of that to it, but then of course it is pre-alpha, you don't expect glory, so... and Monsters and Memories, first few times, that when I played that kind of this time last year, that was a bit rough, because you started at a gate, so it's a bit like Freeport, there's gates either side of the city, and you started at one of the gates, you didn't know whether it was east or west, because you don't get a compass, and you can tell by the sun, but, you know, again, when you first start, you don't even know if the sun's accurate, because just because in England it's east and west, doesn't mean it is there, you know. And you know, you had to go and see your guild dude, but it didn't say, you know, the guild dude can be found in the north, or the guild, you know, the guild guy can be... It might say, oh, it can be found in Sage Park. Well, the flying... that, you know. And it's kind of like, I don't know where that is. And as there are no maps, helpful. To me, a little kind of treasure map thing. So not necessarily a map, but a kind of treasure map that says you are here, you want to wander, you know, a short, medium, long distance in roughly this direction kind of thing. Would be a good option for a lot of these kind of role-play games, you know. You need to head north to Runnymede or wherever you're going, right? Runnymede is the place in the UK, by the way. But it sounds made up. So it is, you know... it is a fine line, I think, and with a lot of the games, there they're either too handy-holdy or they're very clicky. And, you know, if you are not, you know, or PvP. Hate PvP. Hate PvP. Why do I hate PvP? I used to play EverQuest a lot, and I used to get on really well with a load of the QA people, and they picked up WoW. So, being solo and boring, they said, "Well, come join our guild on WoW." So I did, and they played on the PvP, one of the PvP servers. I wasn't far behind them. I had a bit more time than they did, so I thought I'd catch up. Well, technically, I did. The moment I got to 1,000 Needles, which was kind of the first contested zone, I was like level 18, wandered into Needles. Wow, it's a bit big and strange looking, and there's not a lot in here. It's a bit empty. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. So, turned up at the spirit thing, wandered back to my body, couldn't see anybody. Got my body, didn't even finish looting it. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Decided I'd res at the spirit healer. I'm dead. Basically, there were 2 level 60 rogues hiding behind and waiting for me to spawn. They did that for 4 hours. There's no glory in that. There's no clever in that. I was level 20. That's like me squashing an ant. There's no challenge in that. And it just drove me nuts. WoW drove me nuts for the similar reason of the, you know, almost follow the sparkle, was that, hey, you've been asleep for 6 hours. Have double XP for like 3 hours. Okay. But, I don't really need it, but okay. And so virtually every day you got a level. I started a monk, Panda Monk, when Pandas came out, whenever that was. Never played a monk, was always shit at kind of combat classes, always needed a pet. And I got to level 60 in a few days, and you're like, this game is just too easy. It's supposed to have a challenge. I mean, I know it's a game and it's supposed to be fun, but where's the fun in having it handed to you? So, yeah. Haven't really kind of gotten into anything recently. It's part of the reason I craft again. Got to do something with my time. Can't just sit and watch telly, it's boring. Hang out all loads of programming for is answering questions. Getting accused of being rude because some guy says that such and such is true and he's wrong. And I kind of ask a simple question. He doesn't like it because if he answers the question, it proves that I'm right. And so he has to go about how rude I am and how unhelpful I am. And it's like, well, I'm the only one answering your question, dude. So take your pick, you know. Which reminds me, I was going to fire that up and poke something for somebody. They've said that Unity, the released version of Unity 6, doesn't work with WebSockets. I bet it does. Bet my butt it does. But I'll find out. Feels wrong. I don't think it is. I think it's just the angle of the pin. Yeah, it's the angle of the pin. That's okay, Tenchi Tenchi. That's okay. It's the only problem with work. Meetings. Meetings and work. Just sum it up. I've got a meeting tomorrow morning. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. My work phone's also been a bit weird. I have a work phone. I'm on call this week, so technically I'm on call now. And so if the phone rings and it actually proves that some shit has gone down and it's mine, we've had one call in 4 years, so yeah, don't worry too much. But it's it decided over the weekend email was not its thing. What a shame. I'm not fortunately on call. They have to ring me, so that's fine. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I wish the game industry would come up with something new. I mean, I did Power World for a little bit. I had to go Power World for a while. Quite like that for a little bit. But again, you only actually kind of play a couple of weeks of it, and then you kind of go, yeah, I'm kind of done, really. I enjoyed it, but I kind of did it. And they can add loads of new stuff, but, well, it's kind of the same stuff, just different pretty bitches and harder and stupider weather environments or whatever, and it's kind of like, yeah, I think I did that, I'm done now. And I did Core Keeper, Ox did Core Keeper for a bit. I kind of enjoyed that, but at the same time that seemed really hit and miss. Sometimes you started in a good spot and you went a little ways and you met something and you got a few extra weapons and you got this and you got some money and you got some, and you could make your little kind of home seem so much better and you could power up the little whatsits. Or other times you seem to be miles from nowhere and you've got copper and that's it. And you're kind of going, everything beats you to a death because it's angry, and you're kind of going, yeah. So, I don't hate that. I mean, what have I actually got installed on my machine at the moment, just out of interest? So, look in my library. I have Noita, Path of Exile, and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which is single player, kind of 2.5D for want of a better word. Digger. That's really all it is. You dig things, you get a few power ups, you get to make, you get a kind of a couple of random options, you pick what you think is the best, and it makes you better in some shape or form. And you try and kill all the things. Should you kill the things, you get to live and keep them. Should you not kill the things, you might get some XP, but only a tiny chunk of what you would have had. And you have to have another go. So, and again, you get like, I think, is it 3 levels you have to clear to keep your stuff. So it's kind of a 5-6 minute kind of job, and then you can stop. So I really seem to be into time-wasting games at the moment. Things that don't really matter so much. That if you win, you win. If you lose, whatever. It's not like, you just lost you're not playing hardcore in some game where 20 years of your life has just been flushed down the pan because the doorbell went and you've come back to find yourself being beaten to death by a level 1 skelly. It's... Yeah, oh, obviously did my internet fart? Looks like it. Reconnected. Getting a bit crowded. Let's have a quick look. Looks alright. Looks alright. Why is it the easiest way to pick up a pin is to make sure you've stabbed yourself? Yeah. Looking all fine. This is a good thing. truss up some bobbins. Why are you not flat? Put you round the corner because we don't need you for a while. You round the corner because we won't be needing you for a little bit either. Now, potentially a little more. The dogs are now asleep as if nothing was ever wrong with them in the first place. Whereas they've been annoying all day. Proper annoying they've been. So yes, if you bear with me 1 second, I'm going to have a couple of moments for my back to calm down in a bit of a slouching position. Oh look, my internet farted again, potentially. It says welcome to the chat room. Right, let's do some cloth stitch bits next. So, you are going to be my worker pair. So, actually, let's do it this way. Seriously, brain cells, work your life out. So, that's not quite right. Something not right about that. The first thing is you were supposed to be crossed, but you are not the bobbin you should be. You should be here with this one. Why? Why are you in the wrong pair? Have I got to undo all of that just because I've got the wrong pair? You're really not in the mood for that, Brains. Actually, we can work it because we can do that. And we put in our pin. And then we do that. And we go across. you. It should be you two. It looks like it is you two. Yeah, you looks like it's you two. Hopefully, you two are the right pair. Yeah, you look like the right pair. You're done for. That's not right. Lost the plot somewhere then. it matters, you know, it does matter that the cloth was more rucked up than it could have been. What's really weird is there's the other one poking out the bottom. It does feel like you could do these squares in halves. So you'd build up working down this way and then, well, in a way I think you do, but of course you change direction and there's got to be a decent way of losing bobbins in the middle so that you actually work in two halves. Have any of you seen the series A Discovery of Witches? Oh, look, adverts. I think I'll be really excited once this square's done. Slightly nervous about the join at the end, but we can have a duff square join. We can improve that as we go on. My brain's just having another one of those. So how does that work? You can do it with the crochet hook, or you can do it with a needle eye, and you poke the eye through the hole, put the bobbin through the thing and pull up the loop. But then how do you get the loop off the bobbin if the bobbin cannot pass through the tiny hole where the needle went? Brain cells, you need to stop thinking of these things. You need to stop thinking of these things. I've got, well, one and a good chunk of a triangle to go yet. And you did it not that long ago. But you used a crochet hook, so... How would it work with a needle? I think the short answer is you keep hold of the end of one end of the thread, poke the needle through, it makes a loop. You pass the bobbin through the loop, which pulls the loop through. That sounds about right. And I have one of those pokey devices somewhere. We don't need it just yet. Come on, out of there. You're not part of this, you are. Let's put you out the way. Put you out the way a little bit. So I'm not going to be aiming for an epically long stream today. We shall see how we get on, but I'm not. Hello, there's a hole, please. Can you find the hole? I'm not going to be on too late. I had a bit of disaster with uploading the video yesterday. I uploaded the wrong one, and it took forever to upload as well, and then it was only by fortune I actually found out it was the wrong one. So I've had a bit of a reorganisation of the ones I've uploaded and the ones I haven't. She says, speaking of which, did I now move the one that the correct one I uploaded? And the answer is no. I've now got an archive folder, so the only one in the folder should be the one in question, which kind of makes life a bit easier, I'm sure you understand, because then you can't really upload the wrong one because, well, there's only one. So, or at least ones you haven't uploaded yet. So from that point of view, simpler. Did I manage to press my thing? Let's get rid of that. It's like there's a fly. It must be the thing adjusting or something. But it's like there's a little noise and it is you. It's you. You're sounding like a fly. That's not a good thing. It is the camera. That's fine, because we've now identified it as the camera and we can now ignore it. But it sounds just like a fly. That seems... You're not the straightest pin in the world, are you? Let's put you there. That looks a bit better. You come out that end and you get pinned this end. Right. You can go back in there because that's a good plan. And under there. You're a few too many, but we're going to put you in anyway. Because you two, you also can go around here and out of the way. Leaving you three and you five who have now tangled. Of course you've tangled. How have you tangled, my friends? How are you tangled? There's nothing for you to have tangled on, surely. Somehow you are tangled around this. You have, I think, tangled yourself into, there you go. And you are not one of them. Right. Let's put you all back in here, which you won't want to do in a hurry. There you go. Bobbins. You've got stuck around somebody. There you go. So you three aren't going to be needed for a while. And you aren't going to be needed for a bit. Now, do we start on the rose ground a bit? It is just before 8. I don't know. I think, for my sanity, while I want to do more, I think it's better to stop while I want to do more than to get halfway through the next section and not want to be doing it. It is very disappointing because I could have got another couple of hours in if I was feeling a little more enthusiastic, but today has definitely burst a bit of the bubble of enthusiasm that I have. Not specifically for lace making in general, just flat in general. So I'm not feeling my best self today. Tomorrow's Liz may be a little more enthusiastic. Tomorrow's Liz will probably actually not. Tomorrow's Liz will probably even be more narked post the meeting of the morning. But I don't know, I so want to do more. But I also know if I do more, our chances are I'll stuff it up. And I kind of want to be a potato. I want to just lie around and not do anything and kind of be depressed, frankly. So, how many of you are still awake? I'm not expecting a great sea of hands here, but is anybody still awake? Let me give you a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're all as asleep as I am. I'm going to take that as my guiding light and let me go look. I have decided that the polite thing to do is potentially, let's go have a look, see what one thing I really do hate about Twitch is the fact that it insists on playing a stream at you when you're browsing, and shutting it up is really difficult. So who else have we got and what they're doing? We are not going to visit Sulky Lady who deleted my message, because, well, screw her. What else we've got? Ooh, that looks fine and intricate. What else have we got? We got anyone else who's doing lacy stuff? I don't think we do. Got some knitters. Anyone who contains sexual themes is clearly not on a winner today. So I think, I don't know who you are. So I'm going to be nice, and I am going to send you to and I shall see you tomorrow.